Hi Adi, welcome to Film Companion
Hello,
South.
hello. How are you?
Hey, nice to meet you
Long
after
time.
such a long time. Yeah. So let me first start by congratulating you. Like I don't know if it's yet time, but then when do we start calling you Dr. Adi?
You can start calling me. I finished. It's over.
So I'll call you
Yeah, yeah.
Doctor
They've
for the
awarded
rest
me
of the
the
interview.
doctorate. Yes.
But tell me one thing. See, all of us we start working at in our early 20s and all that, and we get addicted to this salary and that income and all that, right? And eventually, it's something we've discussed before also. After you get into that salary or after you get into that income mode, then it's impossible for us to take a break. It's impossible for us to pursue anything apart from whatever gives us money. But you've managed to do that, and you've managed to do that in such a way that I mean, the things that you would have had to say no, or the things that you would have had to postpone to pursue a PhD will be way more complicated, way more valuable than a lot of things we have to say no to. But tell me about what you went through and what you experienced in this process, and would you recommend it to everybody?
No, I've been always doing this. Like when I was like Thani Oruvan became a huge success. I think that is when we
Yeah.
met. So after that, I took a big break and went and did Takkare Takkare. So it was out of cinema. So I think we spent a lot of time there. Then we came back and then Aranmane came. So
Yeah.
I think Kathakali came. So we took one break there. So then during Tamil, we had a little break, went away from cinema. This time I had to have a bigger break since this was academics.
Yeah.
And moreover, this was a very ambitious research. It has never
Independent music, right?
yeah, it was a music entrepreneurship, and it has never been done before in the country. So and it was from Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore. So it's a government university. So there are a lot of protocols there.
You didn't simply get a doctorate because you went for the
Yeah,
ceremony,
yeah,
yeah?
yeah. So my guide was very influential. The people who surround you, like if they give you that energy, then you might feel it is worth it. So my guide, Dr. Ramanujam, the head of the department, everybody were focused on me completing the research. So that gave me an extra energy. So I had to go put in that work there, and I had to complete. And I didn't postpone anything. So when I went for the PhD there, I continued my horse training for Veeran movie. So I planned it in such a way so that this movie required a lot of physical training. And I had to know how to ride a horse so that it looks real in the movie. And there were a lot of physical stunts involved. So I had to train for all that. So I planned it like it was studies and then you go for play in the
Correct.
playground. So
Yeah.
it was like that for me. So if
So
you space that right,
all the movie work became physical work, all the mental work became PhD work.
PhD work, and so if you can space that, and if you really like something, I think more than salary and everything, if you really like something, I don't think money will play a part in that. If we had not got any opportunities and we were still independent musicians, I would have gone to some job and still done independent music from home, and I would have still put out songs. I would be in non-film, I would still be a musician. At the same time, I would have been working in a company or somewhere, but I would have been doing that because I love it. So in the same way, if after a point of time, if you start loving something and if you're really interested in it, I think you will somehow find time. And I would recommend it to everybody to go do something. We have enough time. If you could focus and we can do something, I think we have enough time in a day to accomplish all these. So you can actually do 3 things, still find time. So, but the thing is how you space it, and I think I was fortunate enough to find the time to do that. Then come back at the right time for the movie shoot to happen, finish the movie shoot. That is how it happened. It was a process. And I think next once, since this was very tight, and after this now I feel a little empty. So I finished my next movie also after Veeran. I've done Pete is almost over now, and I've started the next movie after that. I've started that, and I don't believe in taking a break because music is my break, and luckily that gives me
Anyway,
my
already
career.
there. Yeah.
So that is my break. Even if there was no money in it, I would be still doing music, and I would still be doing art. So that has become a career now. So this is more like following the passion, and then I have time to do something that I want to accomplish. And all this PhD and whatever it is, it gives you a learning process. I did Takkare Takkare, I learnt about the whole ecosystem and all that. During PhD, I learnt about how this whole music thing works so that it would help me in the future to start some, if I'm starting a label for independent artists or something like that, it would really help me. The knowledge would really help me. And one thing is that you can earn money by different means, but earning knowledge is a whole different process. And if you're lucky enough to do that, I would recommend everybody to go learn something new every day, because that will also keep you very, once you start learning more, you will actually find out the fact that you don't know anything. And when you understand the fact that you don't know anything, you would want to learn more. So it's vice versa. So I think that process will keep you much more grounded, and it will help you in the long run.
But more than just the, it's direct, right? What you explained is direct. If you did a PhD in independent music, it will of course help you when you're trying to help other independent musicians. But the process of learning, how does that help you in, let's say, music making or acting or the production side of movies? Does the PhD side help you in other aspects of your work?
It helps your life. You meet new people. You go into different ecosystems. Like my guide, the Dr. Ramanujam, who I was talking to you about, his process, his way of approaching things. Then there was this HOD. You again have to be, you're a student now, and you're no more a star. They don't care.
Yeah.
They are government university professors. They don't even care if you're late. They say get out. So, but they were really sweet to me.
Yeah.
But even then, it kind of makes it gives you new experiences, and new experiences will help you evolve in life. So it does not matter if it helps you in one aspect or the other, but it will have an wholesome effect on your life. So I think that is actually very necessary to keep evolving. You meet new people, you make new experiences, and also this whole thing of going back and learning and sitting and I haven't written something or typed something in a very long time. So that was really painful. I had to finish my exams, because when it's a PhD, you have these 3 papers you have to clear, and then once that mark comes, you will have to enter in. So you'll have to write, and I cleared these exams. I had to write, and that was very, very, I felt like I was the one who wrote 16 marks for 10 pages when I was doing my engineering. And
now you're not able to.
Then I was like, what is this? I'm not able to do it. And then that is a whole new experience. I came back. When I started writing a script, it was so easy, getting back to that writing, it actually helps you in a different aspect. So it will develop you in a wholesome level. And then you can use that. It is just the mindset. So it changes your mindset.
Yeah.
And when the mindset is ready, when your mind is ready, I think your body will follow.
But does it give you this confidence that, okay, right now I don't know something, but I can learn it? Like anything. Actually, I'm not talking about something that is in your job, but then tomorrow, for instance, if you have to start, I don't know, driving a bus, or if you have to start cooking for 50 people, does doing a PhD give you the confidence that, okay, I can learn even that? Anything. I mean, not just
just the PhD.
Yeah.
It's the process. That's the mindset. So I had to learn riding a horse. It's not just riding. I had to jump and all that, and we had limited time. And there was this horse school. I met this guy called Balaji, who said, riding a horse is easy when you're younger, but you can still do it. There was always a disclaimer.
But you're only 30, no?
Young in the sense fifth grade.
Oh, really small.
Really young, like fifth grade, 6th grade.
Yeah.
So when you're a kid,
Not yet fully grown.
when you're a kid, you won't be very afraid, and when you learn bicycle when you're very young,
it's
not a problem. So it is like that. So I never had an opportunity, and horse game is an expensive game. It's very expensive game. I never had the resources to do it back then. It was but I always wanted to do it, and I love animals. I had the opportunity to have a bull, have dogs and all that, but I've always wanted to have a horse or ride a horse, and when that opportunity opened up, I really wanted to go and try that out. Not only horse riding, whatever it is. It is always such a, once it is hard when you start, but then once you start doing a couple of things like this, when you learn a couple of new things, your mind gets altered in a way that you would start craving for more things, like you want to learn about everything. So when but it has to also be in such a way it should sync with wherever you're going. The learning should not be like you can learn
completely
everything different. You can learn, but then if it syncs with whatever path you are going, then you will have the drive to do that. So horse riding, if I could learn that, that could be employed in the movie. So when you have that, you know, the reward, I think learning becomes an easy experience. I learnt playing hockey. Now I'm not in touch. But then I learnt it and played in the movie, and it was really, we could have shot a movie by just doing it. It can be done, but then that confidence when you do it on the set, and the confidence that it gives after the process, you know, that confidence will really help you with everything you do on a longer basis, and you will also feel young whenever you learn things. Your mind will perceive it in a way like you're still young and you're learning. I think I should be doing this for a long time. That is the process behind it.
Is that kind of why you have this one film per year or one film at a time kind of a rule?
No, I didn't have resources when I started. We boys got together, started a movie. Luckily, fortunately, Sundarana was there. I don't know anybody. I don't have connects or nothing. We were young people. We were these jolly guys. I think you met us back then, so you would have seen my studio, like a lot of people. Wherever I go, even here, like wherever I go, there is always this group of people.
Yeah, you'll give 100%, but nothing more. You don't have anything else to give.
Yeah, it becomes fun after a point of time. So I think that is the base.
And even with music, it is pretty much self-taught, right? Of course, you might have had a little bit of training here and there, but I remember you like explaining how it's just a basic computer, and then you have the basic demo software, and you're learning one step at a time, and then that's how you figured out music. So, and that's pretty much the same process that's working with other things as well.
Right now, I have trainers. For horse training, I had a trainer.
Yeah.
So that is the
Now
process
you
has
have the
become.
teachers,
I can afford that.
Yeah.
Back then, like one movie a year is like I'm. What I was trying to explain is I'm basically having fun with people. It's not like one movie or two movies in a year. Back then I didn't have resources, so I had to do a movie, make it a hit, get that market spacing is important. Only then people will be ready to invest. So you'll have to show the market how much it has done. Only then the next movie you can do it at that level. So that is the reason why it was one. But whatever it was, we were having fun. And I want to do a lot of movies. If I could do it, I would love to do it. But then this is how the game works. And if I fall, then I'll have to get back from the scratch and do it all over again. I'm ready to do that. That's why I experiment. Even learning music, I don't have rules in music. A lot of these art that I put out, the music that I put out, are very experimental. That is the reason why some songs catch instantaneously because it's very new, and some songs get criticized because it's very new. It's beyond the rule, and art does not have rules. I cannot work within boundaries. That is how I perceive art. So if it has rules, then art should be free flowing. So I think I can't I keep experimenting every day, and learning music in such a process has helped me figure out, like in Thani Oruvan, there is this riff which comes in Theemaidan Vellum. There is a piano that gets detuned, and then we added an orchestra behind it. So we just get excited whenever we do anything. Like it just excites you so much that could that be done? I don't know, but let's just try it. Then there was this, and when you put out this art, we've come to a conclusion. Back then, we used to feel very sad when it does not become big, or when it does not meets the people, it reaches the people. But then through this journey, what I've found is art, once put out, is there forever, and it will connect with people when it has to connect. So this has happened to me continuously. Like my Yaranna Sonnalum song from Ambala became a family song reel, and all these cooking shows started everywhere. It was on TV. Cook with Komali had it as a family song, and Super Singer, they played it as a family song. So it caught up after 3-4 years of it. After that, next year I had Kadale Kadale going viral in with the Spider-Man thing and all that. Suddenly last year it went viral, and like two years back, and now Vilambare Devele is like the most Shazam song on the internet, like in India, and now it's like 1 million reels is like everybody is with that template. And look, the art, if it connects the right medium, then I think it will reach the mainstream. So we've come to that conclusion, it does not matter. So I did a Tamil drill song, and it will meet its,
at some point.
At some point, it will go and connect with people when the time is right. But it's okay to do it ahead of time. It does not matter if you are able to, if you're able to afford it and do it. It is okay to do it. So we keep doing it, and there are real life examples in the past, like Kamal Hassan sir has done it. He's a legend who's been doing this for a long time, doing things ahead of his time. And when you grow, when you see these people, I met him once in person and twice actually. So you see these people who've only seen on TV, surreal things, and you see them in flesh. You know, it gives you that confidence that you will be able to do it, and it is not wrong to try that. And yes, we can do that. And that is how this whole process. Now we've come to that, we've evolved to that. Basically, I think we're getting old and getting matured. So I think the result does not count. The instant result does not count anymore. It's just the process of enjoying. That's what counts. So I think that is how the whole game is working now for me.
Yeah, and when talking about a process right now, it's very interesting because we were talking right before the release of a movie I'm super excited about. I've seen the trailer, not just because you're doing it and because the trailer looks amazing, but we're 90s kids, right? So for us, a superhero movie in our language or a language that we speak it's been our dream. Like, we would have thought about, why isn't a movie like this getting made in our language, right? So when this idea kind of comes to you and you get the opportunity to play and I would think this is the first legit superhero movie because you actually have a superpower.
Superpower, yeah.
Yeah, not just like, okay, a costume or something like that. In this, you have a legit superpower. So when this kind of comes to you, and as a Shaktiman fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
And a rock fan and all
that.
Yeah. When this kind of comes to you, what do you feel like this is destiny or something?
Yeah, it is like, it is very exciting but this is not just a superhero movie. This has other elements to it.
Yeah.
And it talks about the native gods of the Tamil culture, and all these elements are there. So I was completely excited. But I even watch cartoons now. Like, I love cartoons. And
what are you watching now?
I sometimes I rewatch the old stuff. I got into anime, watch some, but I still love the classics, the Tom and Jerry and the Popeye. I still love it. I just go on YouTube and watch an episode. And right now I tried anime, and I was starting to like it. I like these fantasy elements. I've been growing up to superheroes. Like, Shaktiman was our own superhero, and then I loved He-Man when I was a kid, the cartoon. So if you had seen me say Murukal, I do all this. It is a fantasy, you to play it out in a movie. I loved it. But then, you being that superhero, that was really, I was so excited to do it. And it had a lot of things because it was physically very demanding. Because I had to know how to ride a horse, and I had to know how to do all these stunts and all that. And if I could pull it off, it would be really legit. So the physical thing was there, but then this was too rewarding for me, being the superhero. Because when I was a kid, Shaktiman was my first superhero, whom I could relate to, because it was happening in my people that, like, it was happening in India. So my superhero. So for kids and still, even though Iron Man, Spider-Man, everybody has come, I still have that affinity towards Shaktiman. I still remember those dialogues and all that.
When we were playing at that time, we are hoping Shaktiman comes and saves us.
Yeah.
Away, right?
And I still remember how he is Pandidar, Gangadhar, Vidyadhar, all that. I still remember that. And there is this villain come, Dhanraj, Killfish, and all that. It's so lovely when you watch this as a kid and it gets registered in your mind. So I think this will be like when kids now can watch this, and I can be that remembrance, nostalgia for them when they grow up. That would be a gift, and I'm really blessed to do this. That's how I see this. I was completely excited when this started, and I'm still very excited for how the movie is going to turn out.
I'm so happy you chose to work with this director, because I love his first film. Malayalam is one of my favorite films, and just a couple of weeks back I was Googling to find out why such an amazing director hasn't made a second movie yet. And when you hear that this is his second movie, it somehow clicks into place, right? Because he's a crazy funny guy. And his comedy doesn't come from any space that we can imagine. It's all fantasy. It's all very different.
Yes.
So even in that sense, I think it's a very nice option that you chose this movie?
I've known him for a long time. Like when Internet and all happened.
He's from Coimbatore also, right?
Yeah, he's from Tirupur, like neighboring. It's the same area.
Yeah.
So kind of clicked when we first met. We met in a tea shop when Internet and all happened. Me, Ravi Kumar, Ram, and ARK Saran, and we all met in the same place. And when Maragadhananam came, I didn't know he was the director. He was the guy whom I met in the tea shop. So I called Ravi and said, this is amazing. This movie is like crazy. I just love this movie and all that. And he said, I tweeted immediately and all that. And then Ravi said, you know who's that guy? You know him. I said, who's that guy? I said, yeah, that was the guy. No, I know Ram, I know him. No, not Ram, the other guy. I was like shocked. Oh, is that the guy who made Maragadhananam? So from then on, I knew him. And he came to me for music for Veeran, when it was Minnal Veeran 5 years back. Because he's been working on the script for a very long time now. And what I love about him is that you give a hit movie, you immediately jump to your next movie. That is wise. But then waiting for that to happen and putting that pieces together and perfecting the script and doing a movie, that is something really good. And the process I saw in him, I immediately wanted to work with him.
And I think the film was originally called Minnal Veeran.
Yeah.
Any reason why you had to change that?
Because Minnal Murali came.
That was the only reason.
That was the only reason. Because we didn't want people to, because if they expect Minnal Murali and come to the theatres, they'll be very disappointed. It's a very different film. Yeah. It's because he has, even though it's one movie old, he has a style.
Yeah.
He has his humor. That humor is not the regular humor you see in.
Yeah. And if you see the trailer, you'll understand how it's two different worlds.
And it is a different world. It's an experience. So we didn't want people to expect it as Minnal Murali and come to the theatres and get disappointed. So then we had to take that Minnal off, so that it doesn't resemble anything.
But given that he was working on a superhero concept with pretty much the same title for so many years, what was the disappointment, or what is the disappointment that you might have gone through when you're seeing like a big Netflix movie coming out of Malayalam, which is somewhere, people are going to compare?
Immediately he felt very sad, and they
You were already into the movie by that time.
Yeah, I was in the movie. Yeah, this happened very long back. So we were already ready to work. So when the announcement came, he immediately contacted the director through the cinematographer our movie. They contacted, then they spoke, and then he got very comfortable. He said, that's a very different movie. We are a complete different movie, and he became very happy. But initially he was also shocked, because this was like he was putting these puzzles together for a long time, and suddenly, he got shocked. And then he asked me, what do you think? I said, I don't think anything. Does not matter. I just want to do this movie because I love the script. I want to do it. And he's a very considerate person. He wants to know what goes on in my mind. Every time he does something, he keeps me informed and everything. Said, let's do this. It doesn't matter. But then he said, okay, I don't want to keep it as Minnal Veeran anymore. I'll take that Minnal off and keep Veeran. And when he went to register Veeran was not in the cards, because he thought Veeran would already been taken because it's an easy title.
I 100% would think that, I can't believe you guys got Veeran.
Then suddenly we went and, checked. There was no Veeran registered. And immediately everybody decided that is the title. So it became Veeran.
Yeah. It's like how a movie like Premam got to use that name, right? Such a normal word.
And nobody registered it. Yeah.
Yeah. But let me, this is a small bit of a criticism of, that I wanted to discuss with you. Like I've been following your work for so many years, and one of the first, 1 lakh listeners, I would have been one of your listeners. But something you mentioned in this earlier, answer was about how this is not just a superhero movie, but it also talks about our gods, our regional gods, or our village gods and all that. Especially when you used to address all that in your music, or whenever you used to talk about that in a music video and all that, it used to really connect to me. I used to really understand that, okay, this is something I didn't know, but because of the song, I'm able to learn something. But somehow, when you're trying to mix that cause into a movie, I feel it's getting diluted. Especially with Sivakumar and Sabadam, you're talking about a really serious issue, the weavers' crisis, something all of us know, all of us have read so much about. But when you're trying to mix that into a movie which is super fun and super like a family drama, and it's a movie that I enjoyed watching also. Somehow I feel the issues getting diluted. Is that a first
No,
of all,
that is a
fact? It is
no, that is a fact. When you talk about the issue alone, because that is why I did a concept called Veeran. So it was only about firefighters.
Yeah.
So we are just talking about them. But when it comes to a movie, it is a wholesome experience. Not everybody wants to come to the theater to see the message you're giving. So we kept the message as a part so that they can be informed about it. And Sivakumar Sabadam had that one place where the viewer knows the technique of, that no one knows, and still the middlemen make the money. That is the actual crisis they face, and we just kept it there. We didn't want to underline it. People who saw, people who connected, they took that. But when in a movie, the other aspects also matter. So we kept it super fun, a happy movie and all that. But yes, if you talk directly about the cause and what are like Takkare addresses straight about the cause, so that you can have an impact on that. This is more like you feel happy and you just watch a movie, you take away something from the movie. It will dilute. That is a process. Or you can make movies that will address the issue. But I wanted Sivakumar Sabadam to be a happy movie because Corona was going on, and we wanted a relief movie that everybody can come and watch and enjoy. So that is what Sivakumar Sabadam was destined to. It was supposed to be a family movie, and we just played in this backdrop. That's all.
But is that balance very tough to find as you are making or writing that movie? Are you also trying to find a balance between?
No, never. We just kept it at the backdrop. The movie is never about finding a balance. I wanted to tell this is going on, and when you do it in a movie, the reach is huge. Because Veeran hasn't reached so many people, but that video is something I can be very proud of, because that actually no one has spoken about what these firefighters mean to the society. And we kept it in that angle. But when you do it in a movie, it reaches a huge amount of people. So we thought we'll keep that in the movie. And we thought we'll do it as a documentary initially. But then, let's do it as a movie so that everybody this can reach everywhere. So that is how it was. And it was not more, we didn't want to underline that fact alone.
Another question I want to ask you about Sivakumar Sabadam is, of course, I might have issues with the way that that scene played out and the way that, I felt like it was sticking out of the movie, but I think it's a very, like a remarkable thing that you did by kind of, writing a scene in which you're basically going back to one of the songs that you wrote maybe 10 years back.
Yeah.
And then you're addressing that song right now and saying, okay, let it be, let the girls be here. It's almost like an apology from your side, almost like a correction, right? Okay, I might have said something then, now I'm a changed person. Can you tell me about the process of how you thought about that idea of including that in Sivakumar Sabadam and the joy that you got from doing that?
என் ஊர்ல இருந்து வந்தப்ப இதெல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டு நானும் இந்த மாதிரி சாக்காயி Clubbula Mabbula அப்படின்னு கசகாசன்னு பேசிட்டேன். அப்புறம் தான் யோசிச்சு பார்த்தேன், அத்தவன் பழப்பு நமக்கு எதுக்கு, அவன் இஷ்டம், அவன் என்னமோ பண்ணிட்டு போறான், அவனோ அவளோ எல்லாம் ஒன்றுதானே.
No, we all evolve as people, and only if we evolve, we are people. So we can become better humans only by evolving. So it's not just evolving physically but also mentally. So when the guy that did Clubbula Mabbula was an youngster who's come out from Coimbatore, who's seen Chennai for the first time and in a culture shock. When I wrote that, I believed and wrote it. But then when you start living in the city and then you understand all these things, and then you evolve as a person, and then you come to a certain point where you think, okay, maybe this might be offensive to people and this is wrong, I've done something wrong. I publicly apologized. When the song came out, it was like in 1 year or so, I started saying, okay, I think
I made a mistake.
I think that was different. But I didn't want to, hide the song away and tell it was never been there and all that. I didn't want to. Even now,
owned it,
I said, yes, I did that and I've corrected it. And I thought that was not enough because I did it as an art. And art reaches more people. So if I need to apologize, I need to apologize in an art form. So I kept that in a movie so that it can reach people. So whoever has followed me through my art, those people who followed Clubbula Mabbula would have also grown up with me. Right? So they can also understand what I was trying to say. So I wanted to keep that in the movie, and I know it was sticking out of the movie, but then I thought I should do that.
What is the, like, when people come to you and talk about that scene, what does it make you feel? Does it give you a sense of relief?
It doesn't give me any relief or nothing. It is a personal thing that I did. Even if people are not noticing it, it is for myself. It is something that I did for myself and the close-knit circle, my fans who have been following me from the start. I wanted to correct and also tell them, okay, I think we've all, because I see them as a group of people, not just, I connect my art with my people. So I thought, okay, we've done that, now we're doing this. So it is, I thought it is needed. So I don't do it for other people to come and, acknowledge me.
Of course, yeah.
But it is done, that's it. I felt it is right. Whatever I feel right, I try to put it out in my art. Takkare, I felt it was right, I put it out in my art. Initially, there was a huge backlash, but then it led to, after 7 or 8 months, then a huge protest happened, and then everything became right. So it does not matter, if it is right or wrong. I felt something, I thought it was right, I put it out. When I wrote Clubbula Mabbula, I had a mindset like that. I put it out, but then when I evolved, I thought it was wrong, then I apologized. Something like that. It's not for the acknowledgement.
It's for personal,
yeah. It is something in that way. And when I say personal, it is for me and the people, my friends or fans and everybody whom I share my energy with. It is for all of them.
And how important it is to have like these kinds of friends, because you've been successful so many years, but you've never lost that connect. You've never lost that, that groundedness. When you talk about, even if you talk about a song that's about the middle class, it's not like anybody's thinking that how does this guy know he's been rich for so many years. You still have that connect. Is that because you have friends like these?
100%. Because these friends, they ground me. They
inside that office, you're not a star.
Yeah, I'm not a star. There is nothing. Once I enter my office, I work with them, and they treat me like a colleague. They don't, even though I'm like the boss is in the building, but there is no special star. Yeah, nothing is there, because these people have seen you grow from nothing. They've seen you when you were there without money, standing in the tea shop. Three of you splitting my bucks for your tea and all that. They've been from there, and they won't see you as a star. Your family won't never see you as a star. Your family will, even your mom and your dad, even how big you become, you're always a child to them. Same way for your friends, I think you're always the same guy. Just that, but the thing is, lot of friends, you will make lot of friends, and some stay, some leave. It is just a part of life, and I'm blessed with the people who stay by me and have stayed and are trying to push me, because these guys push me to my next thing. When I went for horse training, there is this guy called Manoj. He's my friend from Coimbatore. So he made sure after his work, he came every day in the evening and stood there, and I haven't spoken to him for 4 months now. And he's busy with his work, I'm busy with my work, but I go back to Coimbatore, it's the same love I get. And without any expectation,
he doesn't have
anything to get from me. And he came there every single day to make sure I'm safe in the horse. Every single day for that whole training process, he was there every day. So that is the beauty about friendship. It is not built on expectations. It's that feeling, and some feeling, even in this digital world, some feelings are real and very precious. So to experience that, to come from a generation that is not there, not here, and experience these things in life is something very, very happy that I'm very, very blessed. I feel very, very blessed to have all this.
And what plans with teaching? When is that happening?
After PT Sir, I'm doing a big movie, so we're investing everything, and if that becomes a success, I think we'll be in a place to produce content. So I think my boys can take over, and I can take a break and go teach. And then maybe I'll come back, because this is who I am and this is what I do. So I've just started applying. So I think I want to go and, because I told this long, like 4 or 5 years back, I said I want to get into teaching, because I've always seen my dad and mom, everybody are teachers in my family. So I really love, and I also love, even in the office environment, every day there is a new kid coming in. I give my 100% to teach them to be there,
one
not just
particular thing, yeah.
not just on the skill, but everything I share, all my knowledge they can access to. Whoever I meet, I love doing that. So I think I really want to experience that in an official setup, academic setup. I want to go and experience that. Might or might not be my cup. I don't know if it's my
Will you
cup
be a
of tea.
cool teacher?
I will be a cool teacher. I will. You will have a. My class will be in full vibe. So yes, I'm looking forward to do that. But then right now I have my responsibilities, and I'll have to finish all this. People have invested in me. I have to give them back. But never will I stop making art. I'm an artist for life, and I'll keep doing that. I can wear different. I think I can wear different hats, and
Proved it enough more times, yes.
so I think I will be able to do that. And when I am gone, Jiva is there. He'll take care of he'll take care of everything. So I think I'm very. I don't have to be scared what is going on there. I can just step out. I stepped out and we did music. Agent was there, and a couple of movies came, and Jiva handled everything. And it's been I've been working from remote locations, and I don't miss anything. So I think even if I step out, the next person will come and jump in and they'll take the reins and they'll drive it. So I'm very, very comfortable. So I hope everything goes like how we planned. I pray that it happens like that.
Yeah. Always a pleasure, Adhi. Thanks so much.
Nice meeting after a very, very long time. And
I'm super looking forward to Veeran. I hope I see like kids wearing the t-shirt and after the release.
Maybe after the release, because already this thing is trending.
Yeah.
So after the movie, I think kids will go, do
Pencil
that
boxes.
and all that. I hope it happens. I really love the movie. I watched it. I love the movie. I hope everybody loves the movie. I would love everybody to come to the theaters and watch it. Please do watch it.
100%, of course, yeah.